Good game. Yeah, you too. How you feeling? Heart hurts. Can't breathe. You? Heart hurts. Can't breathe. I think another scare might actually kill me. Good thing we're done. For now. Hey guys.
Well, that's a shame.
Hey. Loser.
Hey, man.
Oh, shit.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is a dub. Obviously, it's like almost 2 a.m. We can't be out here screaming. Once again, we have a 5 a.m. wake up time for work. This is going to be a groovy week. What a fun week ahead of us. What a fun hockey game. What an excellent game. Nothing sucks more. Literally nothing. There's no such thing as something sucking more than staying up till 1 or 2 in the morning just to watch a hockey game that isn't good, right? You're watching it's just a slog fest. No, this game was exciting. It was impactful. It felt like it mattered to everybody in the building except for James Van Riemsdyk. Just an excellent hockey game. You gotta feel good about that. There are people that are going to be negative about this. I don't really see it. There's plenty to criticize. There's always plenty to criticize. But what a great hockey game. A gutsy win after, for once, you had to bail out your goaltending. That happens to every team. They need that. They need that sometimes. And this time, we got to repay the favor and actually did. How many times this season we talked about the goaltending putting up a great performance and us not coming through, right? Us being the forwards. Words. You know how that works. They repaid the favor on this one because Sway struggled. People are allowed to have a bad game every now and again. It's just when you're the goaltender, it's pretty freaking obvious. What a fantastic game. And the boys got it done. You love to see it. The Edmonton Oilers are debatably one of the best teams in the league. Some of you don't think that at all. Some of you think they're the best team in the West. I think they're probably second or third in the West, but on any given night, I could choose them over another team. I think that's fair. This is our first meeting of the year against them, although that feels a little weird. It feels like we've already played them, but I think that's because last year's games against them were so impactful. Either way, the Edmonton Oilers are 4th on the power play, 16th in the penalty kill, 5th in the goals for per game, and 11th in the goals allowed per game through the season. But we know, because we pay attention, that the Oilers have had 2 very distinct seasons this year. The first half was abysmal. It was terrible. Absolute donkey nuggets. They were bad, particularly defensively. Like, really bad. Like biting into the first chicken nugget from a brand new order of chicken nuggets, and you bite directly into this big fatty piece that makes you not want to eat the rest of the nuggets. That's how bad defensively they were to start the year. But lately, the second half has been anything but. Since the beginning of their massive 16-game win streak, which they're very proud about, they are, which obviously this is a cherry-picked date, I get that, but they are 23-0, now 23-1. They are, during that stretch, 4th in goals scored per game, 2nd in goals allowed per game. They have the highest goal-scoring differential per game in the league during that time, outscoring their opponents by almost 1.7 goals per game. Now, most of us would jump to the conclusion that they're treading water 5-on-5 and their special teams are incredible because that's what we've come to expect from the Edmonton Oilers. But that's just not true. During that stretch, they're 7th in power play percentage, which is nothing to sleep on, but certainly doesn't answer a 23-1 record. And they're 12th on the PK. So the 5-on-5 play has been excellent. But beyond that, they have the 3rd best team save percentage in the league during that stretch with a .926 save percentage. That's really, really good. They're scoring almost 65% of the goals scored during their games. They're dominant. They're a dominant team during that stretch. If you want to poke holes somewhere in there, good luck finding the stats, because I did a deep dive on them today, and I can't find it, man. I simply can't. I can't find a real reason to go, this team kind of sucks. You just can't do it. Now, they can't seem to get the wins against teams that they want to beat. Vegas just beat them. LA just beat them. I do think they had a win against LA a little earlier in the season, though. So there's a little... I think Vegas is still kind of shrugging their shoulders at them because, like, yeah, win all the regular season games. I don't think we're that afraid of you. But Edmonton's a scary team, in my opinion. I think they could go on a deep run. Really do. They do not have Ryan Nugent-Hopkins for this one due to an illness, so he's going to miss a game or two. But this team reminds me a lot of the Stars in the sense that they're not a team you want to face coming out of a slump. And we talked last video about, like, maybe this slump isn't quite over. It's a shootout win against Dallas Stars team that's very, very good. But it feels like, at very least, the team's starting to come back and hitting their stride. At very least. You face another juggernaut, you won the game. Regardless how you won it, you won it. For the Bruins, we're going to go with the Marchand, Coyle, Heinen line at the top, the DeBrusk, Zacha, Pasternak line, JVR, Geeky, Richard, Frederick, Boquist, Brazeau, Grizz, Mac, Lorai Carlo, Forbort, Wotherspoon, and Swayman. Why did they immediately change the fourth line after it looked so good? Well, I'm not going to argue with it, because although I immediately rolled my eyes at that, the fourth line was great today. So... good job, Monty. I'm going to leave you alone on that. I'm an armchair coach, armchair GM, all of those things. I'm going to let that one go. Swayman gets the back-to-back. Olmark, I wonder if they were just like, Olmark, guys, choose which game you want. Maybe Swayman wanted this Edmonton game. Maybe Olmark wanted Calgary. I'm not going to read too deeply into that. And then, of course, the reason Lorai has been called up is because Lindholm is week to week. Welcome back, Lorai. Enjoy McDavid, asshole. Lorai was great. He was so good. I just can't believe, like, this is your welcome back to the NHL. Have fun. Poor guy. Poor guy. And before we talk about this game, like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. The high-quality inspectors, you guys absolutely rock. You'll see all the thanks for them at the end of the videos, but these guys are absolute studs and stallions. The Twitter handle, I think the Discord link keeps dying on me, but there's Discord link below. If you're having trouble with that, just message in the YouTube messages or whatever. I'll get you a link for that. And then there's other social medias and things down there. I also have a TikTok page where I put up like the shorts and things like that. So if you just want a place where you can go back and see all the older ones, they're not all up there. They're mostly just my favorite ones, but that's there if you're interested. Let's talk about this game, shall we? Drops! That was weird. That was a weird noise that just came out of my mouth. Puck drops, baby. And immediately bad news. Immediately bad news. 105 in, and Grizz is taken down by McLeod. Awkward hit. McLeod gets 2 minutes for tripping, but it's a weird leg tangling up against the boards, and Grizz doesn't get up. Trainer helps him to the tunnel. He's going to come back. About 5 minutes left in the period. Won't play a shift, and start of the second period, they're going to announce that he's not going to return. So we have another defensive injury that we're staring down, which is concerning because with every injury, it's more likely that Forbort gets more minutes. Also worth mentioning, don't be that person in the comments who are like, good, I'm glad Grizz is injured. He's out of the lineup. I saw a bunch of that on that cesspool Twitter, and I don't respect that shit at all. These are people and injuries regardless. If Forbort got injured tomorrow, I wouldn't be like, yeah, I don't want Forbort playing for the Bruins. I don't want him to get hurt. So don't celebrate injuries is what I'm trying to get at here. Anyway, well, let's talk about this actual game. We're going to the power play right away because of that McLeod hit on Grizz. And the top unit has a great shift, but isn't able to make anything happen with it. Marchand ends up coughing it up. It goes back the other way. The second unit comes on, gets into the zone, and I think this was a big concept for the team this game. Pucks to the net. We talk about it all the time. But there are some games where the coach is like, hey, I don't trust this goaltender. I don't trust their ability to clear the front of the net. Pucks on net more than usual. And that's what we do. We get set up. Geeky on the left point is thinking pucks to the net. So he just flicks it through the crowd. And DeBrusk with a screen. Skinner never sees it. It's a perfect top blocker floater. Bardowski, basically. 1-0 power play goal. Good job, Geeky. How about that? That also puts him at 10 goals on the season. We've got a bunch of guys who are double digits. A lot of spreading that value around. 8:20 left of the period. Edmonton is going to start picking it up. And Forbort has time and space in the right corner. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Time and space in the right corner. But he opts to shovel this puck backhanded into DeBrusk's skates, who is on the right wall. And it gets deflected off DeBrusk's skates, who's trying to... The only play he can make is try to kick it out for an outlet where Forbort's coming back up. He tries that. Forbort recollects, immediately gets stripped by McDavid. Puck is poked forward for Foegele. Foegele gets a one-on-one with Swayman, and he ends up cutting inside and just jamming this 5-hole. I'm sure Swayman wants this one back. Obviously, it's a one-on-one. It's a tricky situation, but it just felt like you could have closed that up a little more. Either way, it's 1-1. Once again, because Forbort had time and space in our zone with the puck and manages to have a goal against before ever getting out of the zone. He's unplayable. He's unplayable. 5:37 left. McAvoy face down on the ice after a collision with Hyman. This was super concerning for all sorts of obvious reasons. He struggles to get up, but he does stay on the bench. Somehow they don't call the interference on Hyman here, but they missed a ton of stuff on both ends of this one. I know a lot of people complain about McDavid cross-check, and they missed so many calls. It evened out, I think. With about 2:30 left of the period, Richard's going to go for tripping. We're going to the penalty kill. We kill it, and then we're going to go to the second period. Second period is a great period. It's actually one that Edmonton's known for not performing well, especially recently in that period. And the Bruins are known for not being the best in the second period, at least internally. I don't want to know what our actual numbers say, but I think if you say second period Bruins to most Bruins fans, they go, yeah. Either way, 25 seconds in, this is just a nice little drop pass by Heinen. They do that whole swoop in the corner of the neutral zone. Heinen drops it. Marchand picks it up, starts streaking his way down that left side, gets into the left circle, pucks to the net, just whips this. Blocker side. I can't believe this went in. Skinner wants this one back. Any goalie who's going to get beat short side like that from a distance, they want it back. But either way, it's 2-1 just like that. We're not even 30 seconds into the period yet. And of course, you expect this to be a bit of a back-to-back. But 4:40 in, the Bruins get set up again. And McAvoy saves it on the line. He tips it forward for Boqvist. Boqvist, who's thinking pucks to the net, does exactly that. Hard low wrister. Frederick is going to be skating by the front of the net, and he gets the slightest of tips. It's the softest little redirect. It glides towards the far post. Skinner never sees it because Brazeau's big 6'6", 240-pound frame is battling in front of him. It just sneaks by everybody. And that's 3-1. Just like that, you have a strong hold on this. 6:20 in. And Corey Perry proves once again he's a piece of shit. I hate Corey Perry, man. I do not. Hate's a strong word. Corey Perry is such an asshole. And I know people say about Marchand and everything. I'm fine with just being a hater. I'm so fine with being a hater. Corey Perry and Wotherspoon give each other a couple shoves, and Perry wants to fight. And Wotherspoon pretty clearly is skating forward like, it's not going to happen, man. And so Corey Perry's like, yeah, it is. Drops his gloves and immediately goes after Wotherspoon. It's really funny watching somebody sucker someone and still lose the fucking fight. Because Wotherspoon needs another 10 seconds just to get everything off of him and get set in the fight, and then starts pummeling Corey Perry into the fucking ice. That was gorgeous. Wotherspoon should stay in the lineup, even though there's a mistake I'm going to point out that Wotherspoon made that cost us a goal in just a bit. It was a great fight, a great bout, but it makes us lose another defenseman for 5 more minutes, so we're down to 4 during that time frame. And Corey Perry goes to the box because he gets the instigating penalty, which he should have gotten. Now, we don't score in this power play, which sucks, but the amount the announcers, actually commentators, I should say, talked about how, well, that's going to get this team's jam going. They're going to, if they come back, this is the play that they're going to point to. No, it's not. And they said it through the rest of the game when they did come back. Guess what happened after this? We go on the penalty kill, Geeky for slashing, we kill it, and then we score another goal to go up 4-1. Corey Perry's fight didn't change momentum. I'll tell you what changed momentum in a moment. It wasn't Corey Perry. What a stupid decision to make to put yourself in the box when you're down 2 goals. I get trying to get things started, but Find a way to do it where you don't put your team at a disadvantage immediately, even if we didn't capitalize. We'll move on. I teased a goal coming. 6:03 left of the period. It's simple and it's beautiful. Zakaline gets to work, and it's the best passing I've seen all season. They're possessing the puck. They're very patient and just moving around the zone, just waiting for an opportunity. Now, we know Pasta sees opportunities where other players don't, and mostly it's just because he has the puck and would like to shoot, and I have nothing against that because this team needs to shoot more as it is. So Pasta in the high slot decides it's time, let it fly, and he lets it fly, and DeBrusk at the net front deflects it on net. Skinner makes a save, but kicks it right back out to DeBrusk, who's able to shovel this into the open net. It's 4-1. Fun little thing here. Before the game, Louis DeBrusk's father, pulled out this little golden ticket for when DeBrusk was just a kid. And on the ticket, it said a goal or an assist or 30 push-ups. DeBrusk got his goal. No push-ups for him. It was a really cute moment. I liked it. Either way, it's 4-1. And less than 2 minutes later, McAvoy loses a board battle. And Hyman starts skating up the left wall. But he sees that Wotherspoon, during this board battle where he got pulled to the side, completely lost Fogle behind him. Doesn't even see where he is. Fogle goes right to the net. Great pass by Hyman. Fogle looks like he's going to tip this, and Swayman prepares for that. He corrals it and just goes around the sprawled out Swayman and dunks it. It's 4-2. That wasn't, in my opinion, the big momentum shift, right? They got back within 2. Obviously, that's a boost to that team. And the period is going to end that way, including the last 4 minutes where it is unbelievably brutal on one line as they get pinned into our zone, where Lori had to play 3 minutes and 47 seconds straight. Now, there were 2 icings during it, but still, because they couldn't get off the ice. 3 minutes, 47 seconds for Lori. Everyone else was in the 3-minute-ish mark. Some people were in the high 230s, high 240s. That's brutal, but did not allow a goal during it. We're going to the third period. We're up 2 goals. Where's the momentum shift? Because Edmonton's going to come out hot. They're going to come out hard, but are they going to really be able to push past us? And no. To start the period, through the first 5 minutes, Edmonton had 1 shot on net, and we were getting right back into their zone each time. They didn't have momentum. I just hated this whole context of like, Corey Perry started this whole movement. No, he didn't. That fight had nothing to do with the end result of the game or their comeback. Such a responsible start to the period. And unfortunately, for once, I'm going to crap on Sway for a couple minutes here. I don't mean it. Because Sway's been brilliant, and yeah, he's struggled a little bit recently, but if anyone deserves to have a bad game or two, I think him or Olmark do. I think they deserve to have bad games once in a while. Because that happens. 6:14 in, Swayman tries to clear the puck around the boards. It doesn't get out. That's not the problem. CC from the right point, he collects it, he goes, pucks to the net. Hammers this one on net. Poof. You all see it. The goalie grabs it, soaks it up. It's mine. I've got it. Nope, it's behind you. Sitting right behind you like a little egg from a bird's ass. And Janmark is there to just tip it right through. It's 4-3. That's about as soft comes. That's a bad one. And from there, the Boston Bruins reverted to whatever that 7-game series was last year. They couldn't clear the puck. They were on their heels the entire time. We're going to talk a little bit about that in the game notes. But 7:24 in, it's a minute and 10 seconds later, Edmonton gets set up off a faceoff. It's a win from the right circle. They get the puck over to the left point. Shot. At this time, during this shot, McAvoy started this shift on the left side so that he could be the primary puck mover off a faceoff win. We lost the faceoff. Him and Forbort didn't communicate. And honestly, I don't know whose responsibility this was. If they keep that structure or if they typically switch. I don't know. But both of them stayed on the left side. So when this shot came from, the left side of Swayman. So if you reverse and it's the opposite point that takes the shot, there's no defenseman on that side of the ice. And it gets tipped by Corey Perry. It gets saved by Swayman, but kicked right back out to him. Not good rebound control by Swayman, but on a tip shot, that's a tough save to make. And Corey Perry just roofs it over the pad. It's 4-4, just like that. I'm mad at the defense. I think Swayman could have done a better job at his rebound control, but we just blew a 3-goal lead. in 12 minutes of play, whatever that is, something like that. Brutal. Lock it in. These things happen against good teams. You still have to find a way to win the game. And it looks like we were going to. Because 7:16 left, and it's Lohrei again, who already has 2 assists of the game. Edmonton looks like they forced the puck out of the zone, but Lohrei doesn't give up on it. And he's in the neutral zone. He flies through, grabs the puck on the blue line, forces his way into the offensive zone, and then immediately drops it. And basically, as soon as he steps over that blue line, he then drops it for Pasta, who picks it up, skates his way into the high slot, and an absolute sniper-rooney cheese top blocker. It's 5-4. This was 7:16 left. End this game. We've had our fun. End it. Be responsible. 6:37 left. Less than a minute later. And Swayman is drowning. Heinen and Carlo lose another puck battle, which shouldn't have happened. That's their fault. Edmonton cycles this up to Ekholm at the top of the slot. An absolute blast once again. And it hits Swayman right in the chest. And he spits it right back out. Right up the slot. And, I mean, it's there for the cleanup. Hyman cleans it up. 5-5. 5-0 again, I think. Swayman had a terrible game. A terrible third, I should say. Just awful. He had a great overtime. A great one. With 20 seconds left of the period, JVR, the only thing he'll do this game, trips Janmark. And we're going to go on the penalty kill. With 1:40 of penalty kill time in overtime, we kill it, largely due to some huge saves that Swayman made, particularly one on Draisaitl where he just snagged across slot. Oh, it was excellent. We even spring JVR when he gets out of the box. Full breakaway. Doesn't score on it. Gets the door closed, 5-hole by Skinner. 2 minutes left of the overtime period. We're cycling the puck around. No one played the whole possession thing. I think everyone was trying to score, which was kind of nice to see. But DeBrusk has this nice little lead from McAvoy, who circles his way up to the top of the slot. He is going to come down the slot. Deke just toe drag around Evander Kane, scoot his way past a diving, poking Skinner, and as he's falling over, as the Skinner stick wiped his feet out, he smacks us into the net. Once again, McAvoy is your hero. It's a 6-5 OTW. You take those. Plenty of stuff to poke holes in. Plenty of stuff to get frustrated with. But at the end of the day, that's a win where your goaltender needed you to bail him out. And you did. That's the right response to this. But let's talk about some game notes. It's a long video, but let's talk about some game notes. Zaka's line is performing. They're consistently, or the analytics aren't good. We've talked about that. Consistently going to get outshot, outchanced. But they are outscoring their opposition. And it's great to see. But Zaka is about as snake-bitten as I've ever seen. And he's living up to his Devils reputation, unfortunately. Devils fans told me 1,000 times, hey, enjoy this guy. He's going to go 30 games, and he's going to hit 4,000 posts. But you're not going to see him score big goals. He had big goals last year. He has it in him. But, yeah, he's not even the king of ping this year. He's not even hitting posts. He's just missing the net like crazy. So that's something that is a fun little subplot, I guess, of this season. Other game notes. Swayman's softy returned the Bruins to something that we don't want to see. And I think it reminded everyone what it's like not to have a goalie. Now, obviously, we have 2 great goalies. I'm not taking anything away from Swayman here. But when your defense, or your forwards, or really any presence in the defensive zone, is not confident that your goalie is going to make the next save, everything gets a lot tighter, and you start failing clears more often. You hesitate in the defensive zone, so players jump on you, which I know you noticed. Once the game was tied particularly, they held the puck way too long in the defensive zone and kept turning it over. It was bad. I think this is the bigger point here is you're seeing what happens when there's a little bit of doubt for the guy in the pipes. Maybe let's have a little more grace for having 2 excellent goaltenders. And on most nights, the team feeling comfortable with that. Because the opposite sucks. Just look around the league and talk to fans who don't have goaltending. It sucks and it affects everyone's game. Last little game note here. Obviously, the injuries forced this result that Lohrei is going to stay up with the team for a little while. But I don't know how you can reasonably send him down knowing he's capable of games like this. He was brilliant. He was awesome. He was strong on the puck. He made great plays offensively, great plays in the neutral zone. You got to keep him in the lineup. You force out whoever you need to once we're fully healthy. Well, obviously not whoever you need to, but Lohrei should be in the lineup. That should be a playoff player for me. And I don't think that's even up for debate at this point. He's earned it. He's good enough for it. I know this is a 1-game sample after he's coming back, but games like these against competition like this, I don't know. I have a hard time moving him out of the lineup. And Wotherspoon's right there as well. Forbort and Shattenkirk have been so bad that even when we're fully healthy, I just don't see why you wouldn't try a Lohrei Wotherspoon pairing on the third pair. It just feels right to me. Just feels right. We'll see what happens. And even with Wotherspoon's big mistake in this one, he was still worlds better than Forbort. Forbort was terrible. Again. Anyway, guys, it does it for me. We got another game tomorrow night against Calgary. I'm going to try to be conscious. The plan is work tomorrow, gym, go to sleep, wake up at 8:45 p.m. and watch the game. Then do a video. Then go to work the next day. It'll be fine. Sleep is for the weak. Go Bees! Go Bees! Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching, but it is time to give a shout out to our high-quality inspectors. We've got our top line tier inspectors. We got Brock Nope, Han Slomo, Coach D, the Bugman, the Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Aaron Adams, Just Aaron, Darren Woodbury, Brett Arney, Pinsen, and Nick Citrullo. Thank you guys so much for your support. It is greatly appreciated. And of course, massive props to these absolute stallions, the all-star tier inspectors. We have Bruins Smash, Jason Ozzie, Bruin Connolly, Jonathan Harvey, Joel, Abraxion, Jacob Pratt, Tupton D. Tashi, D.A. Kingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Doots42, and Jeremy. You guys are absolute studs. I can't thank you enough, and go Bees.